Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is the Resident Evil chapter, Dead by Daylight. We're gonna be giving some thoughts and our own opinions of the new killer, Nemesis. We'll do the survivors later. I'll do an individual video of the survivors. Um, but let's get into it. First, we're just gonna go over his perks. Lethal Pursuer. At the start of the trial, the auras of all survivors are revealed to you for at level 1, 5 seconds, level 2, 6 seconds, and level 3, 7 seconds. I was thinking about this one a lot, and it just seems like a beginner perk. Like when you just start playing Dead by Daylight and you have absolutely no idea what to do. You don't know how to find survivors or you don't know where to start looking. This would be the perfect thing for new survivors, because I know when I first started and I started playing killer, I hated it because I couldn't find anybody and I didn't really realize, oh hey, let me go next to generators. But that's essentially all you have to do. It's just first start off by patrolling the generators, see if anything's being worked on. You can hear them being worked on, and you'll pick up clues after that. So I honestly think this is a beginner perk, and it's pretty much useless for um, better players, higher ranked players. And as well, after you use it, it's the beginning of the match. So as soon as you get those 5, 6, 7 seconds done, it's useless. You're not using it anymore. So I think it's just good for beginners. Next perk. Whenever you put a healthy survivor into the injured state with the basic attack, all injured survivors suffer from the Oblivious status effect for 20 seconds at level 1, 25 seconds at level 2, and 30 seconds at level 3. And it also has a cooldown of 60 seconds. So again, I don't really think this is a good perk just because if well, first let's go over what Oblivious is. So the Oblivious status is survivors do not hear a heartbeat inside the terror radius, and perks relying on the terror radius to activate will not trigger. So if you know someone's being chased or you know someone's hit and this perk comes up, there's things that you need to do differently, obviously. So, you know, Oblivious will mean that you can't hear the heartbeat inside the terror radius. So, if someone is hurt and you're gonna know that you have Oblivious on because it's gonna pop up. You're gonna know to pay extra attention to your surroundings, and if you know someone else got hit besides you, then you know he's not chasing after you anyways. And 9 times out of 10, the killer's not gonna stop chasing that survivor just to maybe find someone else out of chance. So I don't really think this is a good perk. I would never personally use it unless I was like D rank back to rank 20 playing with very new people. So I think this is a beginner perk as well for people who don't know what Oblivious is and don't know how to play with the Oblivious status effect. And his last perk, Eruption. After kicking a generator, its aura is highlighted in yellow. When you put a survivor into the dying state with a basic attack, every affected generator explodes, regressing their progress by 6% and causing their auras to disappear. Any survivor repairing a generator when it explodes will scream and suffer from the incapacitated status effect for 10 seconds at level 1, 12 seconds at level 2, and 14 seconds at level 3. And Eruption has a cooldown of 90 seconds. So, What is incapacitated? Incapacitated. Let's open that. Incapacitated impairs the survivor's ability to interact with certain props. So, that includes repairing generators, sabotaging hooks, using items, interacting with other survivors, cleansing totems, and the following things are not inhibited by the incapacitated status effect: entering or exiting lockers, opening an exit gate, leaving through the exit gates, leaving through the hatch, dropping a pallet, vaulting pallets or windows. So we all know that um, it would be pretty good if someone was actively working on a generator, so they couldn't repair the generator or mess with any hooks or cleanse any totems or anything for 10, 12 to 14 seconds. The downside, I do hate that you have to actively kick the generators. So when you run up to a generator and you see someone working on it, your first thought is to not kick the generator. It's to chase the survivor that's on the generator. If there's like three or four people working on it, then you'll go back around it and start hitting the survivors and all that. But you won't stop, especially if it's one survivor, you won't stop to kick the generator. It just gives that survivor more time to get away. And those few seconds kicking the generator is going to greatly reduce your chances of even downing someone anyways. Um, Plus it's a 90-second cooldown. So personally, when I was playing the Nemesis, it was hard for me. Well, higher ranked survivors, you're not really gonna down them anyways that fast. Especially if you're being looped to hell. Um, but if you do decide to knock them down and the generators explodes, then um, that's good. But I think it's very situational. Like if you just happen to walk by a generator and it's not being repaired, or the survivor had time to hide while you were walking over there, then that's good. Um, but I think it's very situational, and 6% is not really that much. They'll just do that in a couple seconds, anyways. Um, but yeah, that is the perk set. Honestly, I think all the perks are basically just for beginners. Eruption is, I'm still on the wall about that one. I don't really find it too good. I don't really think his perks are that well or that good. Let's go over his power. His power is the T virus. Um, so the power is gonna expand as your mutation rate grows. So his special attack is Tentacle Strike. So you press and hold the power button to charge an attack, and then once charged, you tap the attack button to release the tentacle. Hitting a survivor with a Tentacle Strike affects them with contamination and increases your mutation rate. If a survivor is already contaminated, a tentacle will damage them. So this means to down a survivor, if you're using your power, obviously to down a survivor fully, you have to hit them 3 times. Which I don't know about you, but I'd rather hit the survivor 2 times or 1 time. Um, Survivors who become contaminated suffer briefly from the hindered status effect. So, what is hindered status effect? Hindered is it temporarily impairs the survivor's movement speed, the strength which depending on the unlockable applying the status effect. So, we'll get into this later with the hindered status effect. It explains later how long it lasts and everything. But they get hindered. Survivors can cure contamination by using a vaccine on themselves or other survivors. Vaccines can be found in supply cases located throughout the environment, but their number is limited to 4 supply cases. After using a vaccine, the survivor's location is briefly revealed by Killer Instinct. So it's kind of like I forget what the locker perk is called, but whenever they leave the locker, they scream and you can see where they were for however many seconds, and it doesn't tell you where they're going or anything like that. So it's still gonna be kind of hard if you do see the Killer Instinct and you go over there to try to investigate. They might be long gone. Let's see. Okay, so mutation rate 1, no special benefits. Mutation rate 2, Tentacle Strike can destroy breakable walls and pallets. So that one, I actually personally liked it, but the issue was if you were trying to hit a survivor that may or may not have been contaminated and they vault a pallet at the same time, you'll hit the survivor, but the pallet won't break. I didn't like that since um, basically you could kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and I don't know if that's meant to be like that or if they'll fix it after the PTB release or the actual release of the killer, but we'll see. And mutation rate 3 slightly increases Tentacle Strike range. So with these, we'll go over those as well later. It explains what the range is and everything. Um, and the special enemy, zombies. So T virus causes 2 zombies to spawn and roam around or roam about the trial grounds. When a zombie attacks a survivor, they inflict contamination. If a survivor is already contaminated, they receive damage. So that I was really excited about, because it's like if I hit someone with contamination and they just decide to run away and juke me and lose me, then if they go by a zombie, then okay, the zombie's gonna finish the job for me, which I really liked. But after playing, the zombies are garbage. Their AI is garbage. They get stuck on generators, walls, windows, pallets, everything. They're very unreliable, and I have not seen anyone get downed by a zombie. I've been hit by a zombie when I was contaminated, just to test out how fast they hit and all that, which they hit pretty fast. So if you run really close to a zombie, then they're pretty dangerous. But if you just see one in the distance and he starts growling and coming towards you, all you got to do is go behind a wall or something like that. But zombies can be destroyed with a Tentacle Strike to increase the Nemesis mutation rate. Doing so with a basic attack will not do so. Survivors have limited options to interact with zombies, so they can blind them to make them lose line of sight with flashlights or either firecrackers. Or you can destroy them to force a respawn using pallets. Destroyed zombies respawn after a short time, which we'll go over again soon. Alright, so the Tentacle Strike. There's all the stats and everything of the Tentacle Strike. If you want to see this for yourself, it is on the Dead by Daylight .fandom.com, and I'll put the link in the video so you can read it yourself if you haven't already read all this information. It tells you charge time, charge and hold movement speed. So you move a little slower whenever you're holding it. Cancellation cooldown time 1.5 seconds. Cooldown movement speed 4.2 milliseconds. Okay. So the attack ranges. Mutation rates 1 and 2. It's 5 meters. Or is that's meters per second. 4.2 meters per second. Okay. So mutation rates 1 and 2, it's 5 meters. Mutation rate 3 is 6 meters. So having already played Nemesis, the Tentacle Strike doesn't really go that far. And adding an extra meter, I don't think getting it to mutation rate 3, it doesn't really grant you too many benefits. The benefit 2 is the one I like the most, breaking pallets and walls. I really like that. But going from that to just giving it an extra meter of range, I don't really think that's good enough of a benefit. Um, attack to cooldown type is 2.5 seconds. Um, okay, so thresholds, mutation rate thresholds. To get to mutation 2, you have to have 6 contamination points. So, if you hit a survivor with your Tentacle Strike, it's 3 contamination points. So you have to hit a survivor twice before you can get in contaminate or mutation rate 2. Um, destroying a zombie with a Tentacle Strike is plus 1 contamination point. So 6 zombies will get you into contamination rate 2 or mutation rate 2. Destroying zombies any other way is no contamination points. So, mutation rate 3, you need 15 contamination points. So that means you have to hit a survivor 5 different times to contaminate them to reach mutation rate 3. Um, so you have to be pretty close to actually hit them. And you'll get limited opportunities because it hits in a straight line. So if they're running at an angle, it's going to be pretty hard if they switch directions fast. So it's a lot of gambling you're doing with trying to hit them with the Tentacle Strike. So you have to practice hitting your Tentacle Strike well. I know for myself it was pretty hard. I just must be trash, but um, it was hard for me to get in the time frame of them doing all generators. I would barely hit mutation rate 3, and then after that, it's like, okay, the real game starts, and then you're at your full potential now. So by that time, most of the generators are already done, or you found that 1 or 2 survivors that can really give you a run for your money. Um, but let's keep going. The hindered strength is minus 20%. The hindered duration is 0.25 seconds. So whenever you contaminate them, they're hindered for 0.25 seconds. That's like a snap of a finger. So I don't I think that should be lengthened. Killer instinct duration is 3 seconds. The vaccination duration is 3 seconds. The time to open up supply crate is 4 seconds, and then the supply closing timer is 15 seconds. So this refers to how long a supply crate remains open if the vaccine is not retrieved from it. Okay, so the zombies. We're going back to up here where we said survivors can destroy zombies and you can kill zombies to get a contamination point. And there will be 2 zombies that spawn on the map. So, if the zombies initially have a spawn delay of 12 seconds. So if you hit a zombie with your tentacle, you get 1 point, and then you can go find the other zombie, which might be somewhere across the map because it spawns out of a randomly chosen hook. They might be across the map, and you hit that one for 1 contamination point, which I wouldn't recommend leveling up your skill like that. It'll take way too long. Plus 12-second delay. So basically 24 seconds. Plus you don't know where they're going to spawn at, so I don't recommend doing it that way. If it's destroyed by a survivor, then it's 30 seconds. So they can deny your power even more if you're trying to do it with zombies. But that'll have them waste a pallet, and that's just 1 less pallet that they have to use. So that's a good trade-off there. Attack open time 0.2 seconds. Attack hit time 1.3 seconds. The attack cooldown time is 0.5 seconds. So that's actually pretty fast. They can down you pretty fast if you don't actively run away from them. The walk speed is 1 meter per second. It's pretty slow. So you can outrun them very easily. They have a sight radius of 14 meters and lose sight radius of 20 meters. So they have a sight half angle of 95 degrees. So a little bit bigger than a right angle. Let's see. Destruction animation is 3 seconds. Spawn animation 3 seconds. Stun timer 15 plus seconds. So they can fall. Okay, that's just other random tidbits of stats and information. Um, so overall, I do not think Nemesis is a good killer. Like, speaking of being in higher ranks, like at lower ranks, he'll be just another killer that you're just gonna be scared of because you don't know how to play the game and you're just having fun and you don't know what you're really doing, so you're gonna get beat by every killer essentially. But survivors that know what they're doing, I don't really think that Nemesis is going to be a good killer. Obviously, you'll have that one player that's been playing for 200 hours of just Nemesis, and he's gonna run you through and everything. But that's how it is with every person that one trick's a killer. Um, but personally, I think he's a bad killer. I think the survivors got the good end of the stick here. I'd be happy to hear you guys' thoughts on the Nemesis. Um, if I missed any information, let me know. Or if you guys have any experiences that I didn't speak about, then let me know. Um, but we'll see if he changes. This is still the PTB, so it probably will change. Maybe, maybe not. They might increase the range of the Tentacle Strike, but as he is in his current state, I think he's very trash. But thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you in the next one. We're going to go over Leon and Jill's perks and see, or I'm going to give you my opinion on them as well. All right. Thank you guys. See you in the next one.